I know when it's time for me to take a break when so many obstacles and challenges began to show up. Maybe that's what the sign is. Maybe that's what I'm finally discovering. And maybe I haven't powerfully understood that when the obstacles and challenges are on me, that's a sign for me to rest and take a break and reset. And that is what I'm doing right now. So let that be a message that I have had obstacles raining down on me, one after another. I know they say Mercury is in retrograde at this time, and a lot of people don't want to buy into it. Like, no, I don't believe in that. I don't believe. But I'm telling you, y'all, I tried not to believe this time. I tried to be like, ignore the fact that Mercury was in retrograde. But when I say I had the most kookiest situations show up, that had me in so many different twists and turns. Like I had this situation where I called to pay a bill, and the lady told me that she was going to call me back the next day to let me know if the payment went through. Or she was going to call me the next day to process the payment once she figured out if she was able to. So when she called me back the next day, I looked down and I thought I saw scam likely. But the call was coming in at the exact same time that she said she was going to call me. And so I answered it. And I said, oh, the call said scam likely. And I just answered it anyway. And she's like, oh, yeah. So she took my credit card payment. Everything was fine, told me I was all set, everything was cleared up, all was well. And I felt good about it. And so then, lo and behold, I had to call another fracture of that enterprise. I mean, I'm trying to be, but anyway, I had to call somebody else, and I was talking to them, and they said, oh no, you're still past due. You're still past due. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, no, I paid my bill. Well, no, it's not documented, so we don't see it. So, no. I'm like, no, I did. And so I went, while I was on the phone with that person, and I went and looked into my bank account, and I said, no, you guys charged me. I paid this money. And all of a sudden, the phone clicked off. The phone hung up. And when I tried to call back, I didn't get a response. And so my mind started like, wow, I've been scammed, because I saw scam likely. So I called my bank, canceled my card, and so now I'm without a card. But I thought I had other cards. I was like, oh, I can use some of my other cards. I went to look for my other cards, and those cards were all expired because I really don't use them. So here I found myself without access to money. I mean, of course, I can go into the bank and all that kind of stuff. But here I found myself without access to money. And I was like, so I'm waiting, and then all of a sudden, I get a call, or I call into another fraction of the company, and we discovered that there was some error. And both of those fractions of the company were going back to back and saying, no, the one was saying, no, he paid, we needed access to our records, and no, he paid, and they were like going back and forth. And so I was a little relieved, because I knew that it wasn't on me. Like, something happened, like some fuck shit happened, you know what I'm saying? But I was still a little pissed off because I done canceled that card and I didn't need to. And so I get the new card. And so I pulled it out and I set it on my desk, and absentmindedly I leave. I thought I put it in my wallet. I go to the grocery store and buy a cart full of groceries. And boy, was I excited. I was like, this food is gonna be good, because I guess because I didn't have access to the money before, so now that I had access, I was truly, truly excited to chow down. I get to the register, pull out the card to pay for it, all happy because I got my new card, y'all. And guess what? I did not bring the right card. I still had the wrong card. I was so embarrassed. The cashier and the baggage man, they was looking at me like I was some kind of scam, because I pulled out these other cards that were in my wallet, and I'm like, none of those cards worked. They were like old cards too, so it looked like, well, he got all these cards. It's like, what is he doing with this expired card? And he got all these other cards in his wallet. What is going on? And I knew the optic, but I also knew what was true. So I just said, hey, I can't pay for it. And they were like, okay. And so I left. And that was just a very crazy situation. Just so crazy. And then I go back and I take a new card. The other card, it was another card situation that I went back to the grocery store with another card thinking it was going to work. Got a basket full of groceries again, and the exact same thing happened. But that wasn't my error. I mean, I'm telling you, it was because it was just all communication stuff. It was just crazy, crazy, crazy. So I'm like, nah, this Mercury Retrograde stuff is real, because this stuff is the wackiest stuff ever. It is just wacky. So another thing that happened, like I had just got a battery for my car like maybe 2 weeks ago or less than a month. And I get in my car and my car won't start. The battery charger guy shows up. He jump starts me, tells me to drive it around for 30 minutes. I drive it around for 30 minutes. And then I said, oh, I'm going to go to Pavilions. I'm going to go get some sauerkraut. Something so random, like just something to do. I pull into Pavilions, cut the car off. I try to start it again, and the car won't start. I called AAA. They said they can't be there for an hour. So I'm stuck in Pavilions parking lot for an hour. I decided, well, let me go inside Pavilions to get the sauerkraut that I was stopping to get. I go inside Pavilions, and they didn't even have the sauerkraut. So I could have just went home. And if the car didn't start, I could have been in the comfort of my home. But instead, I'm like trying to be healthy. I decide to go to get some sauerkraut, because sauerkraut is good for blood sugar if you eat it with every meal. And just side note for anybody who's dealing with blood sugar issues. But so now no sauerkraut, battery won't start, waiting for an hour. I'm cold, kind of irritable. I'm sitting, I'm waiting. I wait for an hour, thinking the battery guy is going to just show up, jump the car, and I'm going to keep it moving. That's not what happened. He shows up in an hour. The car won't start. It won't start. So it won't even take a jump. And he says, I think it's the alternator. So you're going to have to get this towed. Okay, just so irritated. I've already waited for an hour, I know. So I'm waiting. He said he's going to call for the tow truck. I'm waiting there for an hour. Something in my spirit was like, the tow truck ain't coming. I called AAA. They didn't even have an order in. And then they had to put in another order for a car, and they told me it was going to be 2 hours. 2 hours? So I'm just sitting there, so frustrated. So I get this idea. I go inside Pavilions and I talk to the manager, and I asked them if they could allow the car to stay there for the night. They agreed. I canceled the AAA. I went home. I woke up the next morning. I called AAA thinking it's going to be another 2 hours because Pavilions is like 5 or 6 blocks away from my house. So I called AAA thinking I was going to call them and they were going to say, okay, another hour, another 2. I called them and she says 45 minutes. And I'm like, okay, 45 minutes, that'll give me time. As soon as I hang up with her, the driver is calling saying he's at Pavilions waiting for me. I don't know what to do. Okay, well, can you wait 10 minutes? I've never walked up to Pavilions. I didn't know how long it was gonna take. Can you give me 10 minutes? He's like, sure, I'll wait 10 minutes. Y'all, I grabbed my clothes, I put on my shoes, and I'm just running. Black man just running, out of breath, because I don't even do cardio like that, y'all. Out of breath, just running, pretending like I'm a jogger, doing all kind of mental gymnastics to make myself get there in time, huffing and puffing. I finally make it up there. Guy, he's cool. Pops up the hood of the car. And do y'all know that this car starts? This car starts. Now, it still kind of sputtered off, but it started, and it wouldn't even start the night before. Long story short, we get it to my mechanic, get it off, and I asked the truck driver, I said, what do you think it is? He's like, he was like, witchcraft. I said, witchcraft? He was like, yeah, witchcraft. I said, that's funny you said that, because I was like, it's been so many things going on in my life. I've been thinking something is going on. So maybe that's a message from God. Do you have anybody to help me get it off? He was like, no, man. So we kind of laughed. But guess what, y'all? It was the battery. It was the battery. And the mechanic had sold me that battery, and the battery was a rebuilt battery, and he didn't tell me it was a rebuilt battery. But the AAA guys kept telling me it was rebuilt. So the mechanic, when I finally he fixed it, he was like, oh, it was the battery, and you must have left the lights on. And I'm like, no, I didn't leave the lights on, because the radio was still coming on. So if I had left the lights on, the whole battery would have been drained, but it was just a faulty battery, but he didn't want to admit that. And I knew it, and I just listened, because my intuition tells me what's up. And so I got the car, and he charged me like $60. And I went and got the car washed, and I went home and I took a nap. I got in bed, I got under the covers, because I'm like, I'm drained. And I got up, got the car wash. I feel so refreshed. I feel like I fought and won, and now I'm in nature. And I know that this Mercury in retrograde, y'all, I believe in it. I'm not even gonna say I believe in it, but it's something about that period of time where, for me, there is one obstacle after another. And the thing is, most of the times they're for the better. Because most of the time they cleansed old relationships that weren't working. Maybe it showed me that my battery was corrupt. You know, it shows up to show you things, but sometimes you don't be feeling it. You don't be feeling it. And I wasn't feeling it. But, yeah, I wonder, do you guys believe in Mercury in retrograde? Do you have any Mercury in retrograde stories? Because it's real for me. And they say this is the shadow, so it's over, but this is still the residue. But it worked me out. It worked me out. But hopefully it cleansed me and it healed me. Because now I want a new car. So hey, maybe that's what this was all about. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that experience and how, we go through life and it's all to like grow us and show us the way. I guess it all shows us that we're not alone. Because I still believe that there are invisible powers and spirits in this world, and some are for our good and some aren't. But it feels like the yin and yang of it always brings things together in the end, if we can be patient and if we just ride the wave, and trust that on the other side is going to be some peace. I guess that's the only thing you can do. I guess that's what hope is. It's hope. Like, I know something on the other side, because I'm telling y'all, when I was sitting waiting for those tow drivers, those tow truck drivers, I felt in prison. And I really felt like, you think you are in control of this life and you're not. Even with the credit card situations, I felt in prison. I'm like, oh, my finances or my daily life and my activities of life have shifted. I'm in limbo for technology or for some mishap. And the same thing with the battery. I felt like, wow, like I am stuck and I can't do anything but sit here and wait. And it really shows you that who's in control. Spirit, God is in control. And I know that it's all working together for my good. I have to believe that. Because this is life. This is life. Life is filled with lessons that oftentimes lead to blessings. And it doesn't feel good all the time. It doesn't feel good all of the time. But I'm really working to woosah and accept the present moment and accept it and trust that things are always going to work out as they always will. So I want to thank you for joining me on The Courage to Be, because I have the courage to be. I have the courage to tell my truth, to tell these stories, to commune with you, and to honor you with my authenticity. And hopefully something I said touched somebody, blessed somebody, healed somebody, helped somebody. And if you feel like this could heal and bless somebody else, share it, subscribe, watch some more of my other videos. I'm a really cool guy. I'm zany, kooky. I'm real down to earth. I'm Dwayne Barnes. and thank you for joining me. Talk to you later.